If you think Jamaica is just weed, guns, and bobsleds, it's time for you to check out Sprinter. The hell happened to my theme music? Oh. Boop! Alright, the list of things I have to watch is like never ending. Basically, I never understood how people can ask the internet what to watch next. I'm like swimming in content. Anyway, the point is, I never just scroll through Netflix. I'm always like, alright, where'd I leave off? Money Heist, season 1 by the way. I know, I'm late. Relax. So for the first time in a long time, I actually took a scroll down Netflix lane, and I see this big, bold Jamaican flag. The movie Sprinter. Never heard of it. But I really gotta get back to Money Heist, because Berlin going crazy. But I was like, you know what? Let me just give this thing 5 minutes just to see what it's about. Long story long, I'm glued to the screen and decided to make it my next movie review for Tate's Take. Plot time. So, Sprinter is the story of Akeem Sharp, who's supposed to be Jamaica's next big track star. He lives in Jamaica with his dad and his older brother. When he was younger, his mother actually moved to the United States so she could better support the family. She was only supposed to be gone for 2 years, but it's been more than a decade because her visa expired. So now, Akeem hopes that rising up in the track ranks could get him to reunite in the United States with his mom. Ain't gonna be easy though, because his dad's kind of a lot to handle, which I guess could be expected raising these 2 boys alone. Not only that, Akeem's older brother Jermaine, who used to be a track star back in his own heyday, but now he's hanging with the wrong crowd, running a lottery scam. Hate to see it happen. So basically Akeem has to deal with all these hurdles on the way to realizing his dream. Alright, let's get into some background here. Sprinter is a movie that was written and directed by Saulter. Saulter's a filmmaker from the Grier. That's a town in Jamaica. It's cool. He said that the inspiration for the movie came when he was thinking about the thousands of children growing up in Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean without their mothers or fathers. And not because of death, but because of the lack of economic opportunities locally and the need for at least one parent to head out to provide for the family. And oftentimes overstaying their visas and not being able to return home without risking the livelihood of their families. In Jamaica, these kids are called barrel picnic, basically barrel kids, because of all the food, clothing, and other essentials that are shipped to them in literal barrels from relatives that live overseas. Dale plays the lead character of Akeem, and when he was growing up, he was raised by his grandparents. That's because his mother moved to the UK and his father moved to Florida. Quick sidebar. Now I don't know about England, but I know those Florida barrels was coming back stocked, because those Florida outlet mall prices ain't nothing to play with. So anyway, believe it or not, this is the first movie Dale's ever been in. And when he got the part, he asked the director like, yo, did you just cast me because you know my story? The director had no idea. That's just how common this is in the Caribbean. So when this movie finally came out, it was being shown all over the world, one stop being the United States. It was then, and only then, that Dale was able to reconnect with his dad for the first time in over 10 years. The film also had a premiere in the UK, where his mother still lives. It was his first time meeting her. Yeah. This shit heavy, yo. This movie has some random connections too, because it was actually Richard Jefferson that first co-signed the film to help it get off the ground. Yeah, like that Richard Jefferson. From there, it made its way to the desk of Will and Jada Smith, and they liked the movie so much they signed on to be executive producers. Yo, matter of fact, someone send this video to Jada. That red table Tate's Take got a nice ring to it. Anywho, since its release, Sprinter's been making its rounds at the film festivals. It's actually won some awards like the Audience Award, Best Director, and the Grand Jury Prize at the American Black Film Festival. So what's my take? You know what? I gotta try this whole scrolling through Netflix thing more often. I'm kinda good at it. I'm actually undefeated right now. I mean, I'm 1-0, but I'm undefeated right now. I thought this movie was really well done. A lot of things I liked about it. First, for a movie without a big Hollywood budget, it was shot really well. You get great looking shots of Jamaica. I mean, it's probably not the best remedy if you got those quarantine blues, but you know, it's nice. Next, soundtrack. Now you already know this movie was gonna have some jams, but the soundtrack was actually curated by Walshy Fire. Yep, that's the same Walshy Fire that was part of the Black China movement, and the same Walshy Fire that's part of the even bigger Major Lazer movement. This is a huge deal. Finally, and most importantly, just seeing an authentic Caribbean story portrayed on screen. Way too often do we see the stereotypical Jamaican drug lords, no shade to you, Shatas, I don't want no smoke, or even just the standard rags to riches story. But this is neither. Jamaica's been dominating the track for years now. It's surprising that we haven't seen a movie like this yet. And not only do we get a good sports movie, but we get one that tackles immigration, parenting, coming of age, relationships. They're covering a lot of bases here. Another thing I will say about this movie is that part of telling that authentic Jamaican story, you're gonna get some authentic patois. And for those who don't know, patois is the dialect used by Jamaicans. Now, for someone who's as tapped into the culture as I am, aka going to as many Jamaican cookouts and weddings as I have, I definitely could understand about 99% of it. But for those of y'all without as many Jamaican friends as me, or who don't live off Flatbush, they got subtitles too. And damn, do I appreciate them using the real language. Because way too often do filmmakers just cast any old person to play Jamaican or any other West Indian country, and let's just say, it usually don't work out so well.
If we look Jamaican, walk Jamaican, talk Jamaican, and is Jamaican, then we sure as hell better bobsled Jamaica.
Word.
So, what brings you here to Jamaica?
Yeah, gross.
No, be a sister, no devil, no dopey. Everything gonna be irie.
Sadly, yes, that did happen. One thing I found funny the director said is that they would shoot a heavy patois scene, and even though 80% of the film crew was Jamaican, there was a couple American producers on set, and they would ask him, hey, can we tone down the patois on that one? So Storm would oblige to the reshoots, and he would just call them the Yankee Takes. I don't have too many complaints about this movie. One, naturally with a less seasoned cast, you're gonna get some scenes that could have been better acted. And two, maybe it's just me, but they made the American track star, who's actually played by Bryshere, that's the dude who was in the New Edition movie. Anyway, they made that dude into a little bit too much of an asshole. But I'm gonna chill. You know what? I'm gonna give Sprinter 4 stars here. Movie actually came out in limited release in the United States around this time last year, but it just got added to Netflix a few days ago, so you all can go check it out. As always, thanks for checking out Taste Take. This episode is from my boy Jeremy Jones. Happy birthday, big bro. You and Z, check this movie out. Any of y'all new to the channel, please hit that like and that subscribe button if you're feeling the content. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. Respect. Big up on yourself. I'm actually getting pretty good at it. It's just really practice. Brookie, forward until further notice. See? Just gotta get the hang of it. Boop. India, Gaza. A long time, killer man. Go. This is where we are. Oh.